We should be good. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Press Play, the show where we're kind of going through video games and trying to look at them from more of a storytelling perspective. Last time we had started with the original Legend of Zelda and got through the first 4 dungeons on our way to collect all 8 Triforce pieces and thwart Ganon's plan to take over Hyrule. So, uh, with that, I guess let's just jump back into the game, and hopefully our save point is here. Right. I did notice the sound was a little loud last week, so hopefully it sounds a little better now. Just let me know if it's too loud, too quiet, too just right, and we can get that sorted out. So, if I recall correctly, we had finished the 4 dungeons, have our 4 pieces of Triforce, so we are on our way up to level 5, which was up at the top of the mountain. And as usual, when we start over, or when we start from a save point, we only have 3 hearts, so hopefully be able to get some health on our way up there. So one point I was thinking about this past week is I was thinking about storytelling and how video games can be similar and different from other media. Is one thing we noticed was music, that video games use music, and right away that might put us in mind of, say, movies, because movies also use music. But one difference we can notice is that with video games, the music is much less scripted than in a movie. In a movie, you can do things such as have music that comes to a climax just at the exact moment when the hero does something particularly heroic, or gets really quiet at points, and it can be very heavily choreographed with the film that it's tied to. With the video game, of course, the player has agency. They're choosing what to do and how long it takes, so it can be much harder to actually sync up audio to do that. And instead, unless we're in a cutscene where the video game is basically kind of showing us a movie, we end up with just kind of looping music that sets the mood for an area. So here we have the overworld theme that is just kind of doesn't really seem to have like a big climax or moment. It just kind of loops and helps us feel a little bit heroic as we run around Hyrule. The dungeon theme sounds more dangerous and helps kind of set the mood for the underground dungeons. Oh. Okay, we already heard that hint. No, that's not where I want to go. And so even things like that can be similar to movies we still have to do them differently in games. I think this was the right way. Up the hill. And there we go. And here we are, level 5. And at least now, if we die, we'll end up in the beginning of this dungeon. Oh boy, these guys. These are called Pole's Voice, and they take a lot of hits from the sword, or we can just use our arrows on them to take them out quickly. And in this game, I think that's the easiest way to take them out. In the Japan release, I believe there was actually a microphone built into the controller, And if you shouted into it, you could take them out. But the American release didn't have that. These guys are called Gibdos. Oh, and they're basically mummies. Let's light up this room a little bit. Oh. And they hit pretty hard. Okay. Can I stun these guys? There we go. And we got our stopwatch. Digdogger hates certain kind of sound. Okay. If we look in the manual, I believe we'll find that Digdogger is a large, like, circle thing, like a wheel, and oh boy, a bunch of Dodongos. And so we'll have to see if we can find a way to make sound by the time we get to Digdogger. Dongos eat bombs, which can be helpful, but it's not as helpful as actually stunning them with a bomb. Like that. There we go. And just more bombs. That wasn't as helpful as I was hoping. Okay, more Zols. Which we now have a sword powerful enough we can just take them out in one hit. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There. A lot of enemies dropping bombs. I wonder if the game is trying to tell me something about this dungeon. You hold still. It's also not really giving me any hearts. Okay, so we killed all the enemies and the door doesn't open. None of these blocks move. So let's see if any of the walls are bombable. Oh, they are. Okay. Let's see if that one... This should take us back to the old... Yeah, that old Gibdo room. Okay. So I don't see any way to actually open that door, so that must be a one-way door. That dumps us into... Oh! Wow, blue dark nuts. We're gonna need some bombs for these. Oh. Alright, that was not the best try I've had. One bomb left. Guess I don't know if we need to actually clear the dark nuts before we can try to move a block. Let's try to... Oh. Okay, let's see. We'll give it one more try, and then if this doesn't work, we'll If I can't make it past them this time, we'll go out and probably have to scrounge for some red medicine. Got a heart, and lost a heart, so bit of a wash there. Oh. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure we can actually move these blocks until we defeat the enemies. So we're gonna go try to heal up a bit so that we're not can take more than just a couple hits. All right. Let's back down the mountain. We are getting some... Well, right now we're losing health as fast as we're gaining it, because I'm not very good at dodging stuff. But, let's see, we can go grab that one heart container on the coast that we couldn't before without the ladder. Unless we did that last stream and I forgot about it. But walking around the bit's okay anyway, because we're going to need money if we want to get potion. Oh, that's very nice. If we can find one more heart container, well, two more than we have now, one more after we find the one on the coast, we could even go get the magic sword. I think that requires 12. Not block his fireballs with our shield. And there it is. We have not gotten it yet. Good. Alright, let's try to explore around a little bit and see if we can't find another old man willing to just give us a heart container or something like that. At the very least, get some rupees to be able to buy a potion. What was up this way? Looks like there should probably be a cave over here somewhere. Yeah. Well, that's not very helpful at the moment. It's less helpful. don't think we've actually crossed the river that we've walked by a couple times, so I'm gonna do that. We can explore more on the other side of the mountain. Rocks. And the most obvious hint in the game, I guess. Okay. Waste time going that way, but at least the directions are clear. And a whole bunch of Lionels and P-hats. This looks like a really fun screen. Not sure we've actually killed any P-hats before. See, we can't do anything with them while they're spinning like that. We have to wait for them to stop spinning eventually, and then when they stop, then we can kill them. Here's level 9, which we can't really do anything in until we get the Triforce, but we have found it when we do eventually get here. And this is exactly what I want on a screen like this, other than the fact that the blue levers can still go underground. Well, I would if I could afford it. Ow. This is not a good screen to be on. And we're going to start back here. That's okay, because we can now go over to the blue spiders, which always seemed like a good... Sorry, blue tektites, which always seemed like a good source of revenue. And they don't hurt us much if they do hit us. So... Right, well, then again we got a fairy last time too, and then ended up wasting it, so hopefully that won't happen this time. Nope on that screen. Let's see what's this way. Okay, don't need any of that, except eventually I'll probably want the large shield, but... the reason I'm getting these Armos Knights going is usually when there's a bunch of Armos Knights, one of them will uncover... One of them will be hiding something. So, I want to see if these guys are hiding anything. Nope, and we already missed our chance there. Alright, so that group of Armos Knights wasn't hiding anything. Let's see what's up this way. More Lynels. More rocks. Is this going to lead us to another arrow? Nope, leads us to that screen. Well, as fun as this seems, I think I'm going to skip that for now. Let's see this group of... Ah, here we go. We got the power bracelet. You can see it in the upper right there. Even though it looks like a croissant, it is actually a power bracelet. And this will allow us to push some rocks in the overworld that let us have access to some secret passages. I just want to see if these guys are hiding anything. Doesn't look like any of them are. No. What's the tree stumps over here? Is the home of a bunch of blue Lynels who just want to lag up our game really bad. And then red Lynels. I have to say, really not a fan of these enemies. Okay, this is just kind of a dead-end area, looks like. I don't think we can push any of these rocks. Okay. Well, we almost have enough for some medicine. Once we grab that, we can go back into Dungeon 5. While we're here, I can show off what our new power bracelet can do. There we go. We can push this rock out of the way and then have take any road you want. And if we take a road, it will take us elsewhere in Hyrule. This one stays activated even if we don't push the rock. Okay. So that was the left road. We'll see this one. Haven't been here before. Is there anything here? What are these Armos Knights? One kind of has to wonder, where did these Armos Knights come from? They're just kind of placed in seemingly random places around Hyrule. Ah, this is... Well, now we know where level 6 is when we eventually need to get there next. Give me that, please. Thank you. Okay, well, we'll ignore that. Let's see where some of these other routes go. Take any road you want. Let's keep going left. Okay, this one was over by level 2. Sort of. And then this one is back at the beginning. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Can't get through there. Alright, there we go, that's enough. And then this lady here should be able to sell us medicine. Alright. Sorry, just had to check something on my phone. Alright, we are, I think before we head up to level 5, maybe let's check the ferry that we know is over here, and hopefully we'll be able to retain most of our hearts on our journey back to level 5. Yeah, that retaining hearts thing isn't looking so hot at the moment, but... Also on that screen we saw if you kill all the enemies on a screen, eventually they'll all come back. If you leave any of the enemies alive, for instance if we leave just one enemy alive, well, bad example, but when we come back to that screen, that one enemy would be the only one still there. So Usually I want to kill everything because we want them to respawn so that we can come back and farm them for rupees later. But occasionally it can behoove us to actually just leave one so that the rest of them won't come back to give us trouble. And certain enemies don't seem to count for that. Like, I think leaving a Zora on a screen doesn't stop the other enemies from spawning. In the dungeons, we can't kill the bubbles, so leaving them doesn't stop other enemies from spawning. Alright, well, made it back here with only missing one heart. That's good. And we do have a potion if we remember to take it. Alright, attempt 2 at level 5. Hopefully this doesn't end up just being the entire stream as me trying to get through this one dungeon. Okay, we also have 8 bombs, so let's go ahead and... Okay. Yeah, these guys love to turn around just as I'm about to stab them. Did I do it too late? There we go. And in this game, at least, it seems like my sword slashes do as much damage as my sword. Come back here, there. Any enemies that are vulnerable to my sword also take damage from sword slashes. In future games, that will not be the case. The sword beams. I'm sorry, I'm talking about. In some of the future games, the sword beams are considerably weaker than the sword, so sometimes you still have to get close to enemies even when you're at full health. Okay, so we found a secret passage. I only have one bomb left, so I'm going to hold off on just bombing rooms until we either get stuck or we find a map that should show us which rooms we can access. Oh, that's right, I have sword beams. Except these guys don't seem to wanna... There we go. Ow. Now I don't have sword beams. Remember back in level 1 when the worst we had to worry about was like 5 gorillas being in a room? And now I'm kind of wishing we could get rooms like that. on. There we go. Dude, knock it off, dude. There we go. Alright, we found what appears to be a flute or a recorder. And we got a hint earlier saying Digdogger dislikes certain types of music. Come on. So, hopefully one of the types of music he dislikes is a recorder played by Link, who probably doesn't even know how to play a recorder. At least, maybe I'm just projecting there. Sometimes these guys get knocked back a ways, and sometimes they just don't. I'll use my blue potion if I have to, but I'd rather hold off on it until we get a little further into the dungeon, in case we run into like another big room just full of blue dark nuts, as seems to be happening. Guys, I only have one bomb, so and we've already been to the left anyway, so let's try over here. Okay, shouldn't be a threat. Walked into my own fire, I think. One thing to notice with the ladder as well is I'm relatively safe on the ladder, because unless an enemy, like the keys can fly, but enemies that are stuck to the ground won't be able to hit you if you're entirely on the ladder. Although they can still throw stuff at us, so can't always go after them either. But like I should be relatively safe here. Try to keep going up, see what's up. Red dark nuts, okay, this is 3 red dark nuts isn't so bad compared to some of the rooms we've been in, especially since we have our safe spaces that the dark nuts can't get on. And you can see, I don't think he wants to pass Link. He knows those lava tiles are better for me than they are for him, and there, need to stop walking into the fire. One of the things with this game in particular is that we never know when we walk into a room, like this one, whether this is a room that's just kind of empty, that we just have to, cross through it, or if it's, do we have to kill all these guys and they're hiding something important. I mean, the key's not super important, we have extras, but that it is useful to have. And are we already right next to the boss? Just looking up at the map, the Triforce looks like it should be at least 2 rooms over and 1 room up. The boss should be right before it. Let's see what's going on. Here we go. This looks like a Digdogger. Actually, I don't know that it does, but it is, whether it looks like one or not. Will it work again? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Well, we got it to be small. Alright. So, using the hint before, Digdogger dislikes music. I guess that means when we play a simple tune, he turns into a much smaller Digdogger that we can hit with our sword. If I recall correctly, Digdogger cannot be hit with the sword while he's large. Or he's immune to sword damage. Okay, so we didn't explore the entirety of level 5, but we did get the item. We got an item out of it, and we got our heart container and Triforce piece. So I don't think there's anything else we need out of level 5. I think most of the rooms then must just be decoy rooms to try to get us to waste time. So now that we have the recorder, or the flute, one of the things we can do is if we play it on the overworld, we can actually get taken to, this took me back to level 5. Okay, I'm not sure. There we go. Okay, this is level 4. So if we are facing down while playing it, this whirlwind will come and take us to the previous dungeon. And yeah, this was level 3. If we're facing right, will it also take us to... Right will take us to the next one. I think up will also take us to the next one. And for some reason, left took us to the same one. So let's see what happens if we do up here. It loops around because we haven't actually... I guess it's only taking us to dungeons that we've cleared, so since we haven't cleared 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, or we've cleared 5, we haven't cleared 6, 7, or 8, it won't take us to there. We know 6 was kind of over that way, so let's get over there, and I think we have enough heart containers we can get our final sword upgrade. So one thing, thinking more about music, now that we have a musical instrument, we already kind of talked a little bit earlier about how music can help set the mood of a scene or section of the game. We saw that on the title screen. We see it here, both in the overworld and in the dungeons. I'd like to, as we go through the series, kind of just try to keep an eye out for 2 things. One, how is music being used, for the player experience? We're hearing music, it's helping contribute something to the game. And 2, how is music being used for, like within the game, within the lore of the game? How are the characters this is the right screen for Tombstone to push. Okay, probably not. Okay. So just to kind of try to keep an eye out for, is how music works both within the game world and outside the game world. These enemies are called Genies, I guess, basically ghosts, and the ones that come out of the tombstones you can't actually hit, at least not with your sword, and they'll come out every time you touch the tombstone. Only the ones that are originally there can be hit, and when you kill them, it kills all of them. So, but I need to keep hitting these tombstones because one of them hides the... that might be the one. I didn't see anything come out, but maybe we need to beat this guy first. Okay. We just need to go from the proper direction. So again, master using it and you can have this. I think we have enough heart containers. Yes. This is the magic sword, the most powerful sword in the game. You can tell because it's pictured at an angle instead of being pictured straight up and down. And other than just being powerful, I don't know what makes it any more magical than the first two swords, since both of them shot beams when you had full hearts, which seems kind of magical to me, but what do I know? Now I just need to remember... here it was. So let's see, level 6. We have our potion. We have a use of potion left. We have our most powerful sword. I think we should be able to try tackling level 6. Alright, I think is this our first encounter with Wizrobes? A lot of Wizrobes. Wizrobes are kind of a wizard mage enemy that they'll disappear and reappear, and have to be particularly careful because their shots can be blocked, but only if we buy the larger shield, which I can't afford yet. Alright, aim at the eyes of Goma. That should be... I'm assuming then that the boss of this level will be Goma. Again, we have the dragon and the mohawk guy. Alright, got a twofer. Well, so far the Wizrobes are annoying, but I will take them over the Dark Nuts any day. Boy, it looks like we've got a large dungeon. Okay. Oh, good. Yes, blue Wizrobes actually move around. Rather than just appearing, and they do turn invincible occasionally. And then we also have the likes, which remember, I think I mentioned briefly, they eat the shield that we need to be able to block the Wizrobes' shots. So if we do get it, we then are at high risk of losing it to the likes. Fun room. And then we have the bubble just making it so we can't use our sword sometimes. Fun times all around. But at least we upgraded our swords so these guys go down relatively... Spoke too soon. Okay. I will try this time to use potion a little bit earlier if I start running into trouble against the blue wizrobes. This room is just a game of very sadistic dodgeball. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa! That was a little unfair. Okay, sound balance is on point, thank you. Oh, and we have Gliok again with 3 heads. Fortunately, we have a more powerful sword, so he goes down pretty quick, although we did take a lot of damage. Because my strategy of just standing inside him and taking damage while hitting him back has a tendency to do that. Explore down here a little bit. Well, that's not fair, being able to hit me while I'm on my little bridge. Ah. Sorry, the pancake stacks are called like-likes. And they don't deal a lot of damage on their own. Ooh, lucky hit the boss there. Their main thing is if they grab hold of Link while he has the magic shield, the upgraded shield, they will actually eat the shield away. That's not something I have to worry about at the moment since I don't have the magic shield. On the other hand, that means I don't have the magic shield, so I can't block the wizrobe shots. If I keep dying, I very well might end up going on a quest to get the magic shield. And then we will have to worry about dodging like-likes. Maybe the bubble does keep enemies from respawning. Ah. That's realize I don't actually have to clear that room. The door's just open. If I don't worry about clearing out enemies that I don't need to clear, especially these guys I will just because they're easy and I can get some hearts from them, possibly. But I might be able to make it through if I don't worry quite so much about... Alright, look. Yeah, I'm really not a big fan of the start over with just 3 hearts thing. They couldn't have even made it, like, you know, half of your hearts or something. Okay, fortunately Gleeok stays dead. Okay, as does whatever was in this room. Ah, walked into that one. So I think probably looks like I should go. At the very least, I should fill up on hearts, even if I don't actually get a potion. And could probably stand to go get the mirror shield as well, or the magic shield. At least now with this sword I can one-shot the Lynels. The red Lynels, at least. I think the cheapest magic shield is 90 rupees. Oh, that's right, Lost Woods are just going to be the same map. Trying to remember. I need to remember which shop would sells the magic shield for 90 rupees, because most of them are. Well, you're not a. Yeah, just medicine. I think most of them are like 160 rupees. So if I can find the 90 rupee one, that's actually a significant discount. This one I don't think it was. Yeah, he's the 160 rupee guy. Wow. So having a super powerful sword doesn't mean anything if you can't actually hit your opponent. take the secret passage, because I think... Let's see if this one's the one I want. I think the magic... the sword I want, or the shield I want, is somewhere over here. Oh, I never even noticed. I think I mentioned last time in regards to the potion that with Link, you often get the blue item first and then it upgrades to a red item. Well, our sword, the white sword, had a blue hilt and the magic sword has a red hilt. So we continue that trend. Oh, Feather Fairy. Probably a matter of burning down one of these trees, and I just have no idea which one. Let's see, one of these. Alright, let's see if that's what this ends up being. Okay. Not what we were looking for. It's also not what I was looking for. Excuse me, Mr. Moblin, you want to... Thank you. So what's in here? Well, there's 130 rupees. It's a little bit of a discount. But I know that somewhere around here there was one for 90 rupees. No, we already checked that. I guess if I get to 130 rupees before I find that shop, I'll just remember to come back here and grab that one. Not from you. I'll just try burning some trees, see if... No. I don't want to just go around trying to burn every single tree in the place. That was one of the It's a Secret guys, wasn't it? So. But I can at least, I guess, try to burn some trees while I'm... What about bombing rocks? Nowhere near where I wanted. There we go. rocks. There were no. I'm pretty sure the bombable rocks would have to be flat ones like that, so I don't think there's any bombable rocks here. Let's see if any of these other trees are burnable. Try just a couple more trees here. Even though... Yeah. There it is! Really expensive. You're offering the cheapest magic shield of the bunch. I mean, the meat was kind of expensive. I think I saw it for 60, but... Alright, good, good, good. So now we have our magic shield. We can deflect the Wizrobe shots now. We'll go ahead and try this. Won't worry too much about trying to get the medicine as well just yet. Because I think this might be enough to even the score. Especially since we were able to fill up our hearts on the way. Let's see, that was... Okay, I think this is the one I want. Alright, with a new shield and full hearts, I think we're set for this dungeon for now. I want to test out my shield. Also don't want them to... Look at that. We can't block shots coming in from behind us though, so... Right. Oh, these guys are dropping some good money. So if we do need to get the potion later, we should be well equipped for it, as long as this room doesn't... This room's one of the ones that'll mess us up, just because of those stupid statues. Which are the same statues as in the beginning room, but the ones there don't shoot fireballs at us. Okay. There we go. Ha. We do need to be careful with the likes that they don't eat our shield. I'm not sure if that little circle thing on the front of the Wizrobes is supposed to be a mouth or like a pendant or just an emblem on their robes or what. We have to feed Gleeok again? Okay, no, Gleeok stays dead. Want to get rid of those things so that That's the big thing I don't want to run into. Oh. Sorry, that screen that keeps popping up is the retro system I have. Has a, if I press like start and down at the same time, it'll go back to its main menu. So sometimes if I press start while I'm switching between rooms or moving around, it'll pop that up. That's what I wanted. Hey, we finally beat this room. What do you know? And what fun awaits us here? Okay, just these guys. We can handle that. And what's in here? Okay. Oh. Ah. Well, at least we took out some of them. So, we start with 3 hearts, but I think I might start leaving one enemy alive if we don't need to clear all the enemies, just to try to make our lives a little bit easier. So I think if we leave that guy alive, then if we die and respawn, he should still be the only enemy in that room. Just as those are the only enemies in this room. Ah. Well, at least it didn't eat our shield. Were the game designers into D&D? I honestly don't know the answer to that. We can definitely see some kind of dungeon delving type of gameplay here. At the same time, it's not. We are missing a lot of like the role-playing aspect that one gets from tabletop RPGs. Sorry. So, okay, good. It's not the same enemy that we left, but there is still just one enemy. Good. So I guess I really can't answer the question. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if they had gotten some influence from more traditional role-playing games. Are there any particular D&D elements that you're noticing? Alright, good. Now if I can just... Okay, can't push that until we beat all the non-bubbles. Now we should be able to push this. And is this a secret passage or is this an item? It's a secret passage. Man, these bubbles sure like teaming up with likes. Okay, I want to go here to see, is this leading me over to the boss? Or is this leading me to a treasure? Oh. Okay, I think it looks like kind of an old school D&D dungeon crawl. Yeah, I can see that, especially with a particularly sadistic DM. Hey, let's put these things that eat your shield in the same room as not only things that you really need your shield against, but also things that prevent you from using your sword at all. So I think that passage ends up leading us to the boss. So when we get back to that one room, I'm going to try going north, because we should still have an item somewhere in this dungeon. Okay, let's... Is this an item? There we go. Ooh, a magic rod. So the cane, of course, lets Link do his tap dancing routine. And it also shoots magic beams just like the Wizrobes. So this basically lets us have a reliable magic attack, but unlike the bow, we don't have to worry about spending rupees every time we use it. It's still not quite as powerful as our upgraded sword, though. Didn't mean to do that. are these monsters demonic, or are they races of creatures in the Zelda world? I guess I'm not sure. Some of the monsters sure seem more like races. Like the Moblins we were noticing last time looked a little bit more humanoid. They shoot arrows like we would expect from, you know, people rather than just. Ah, wasn't expecting the traps to get me. Okay. I actually have enough. I can go get a potion now. And let's... Oh, no, I think I'm putting it the wrong way. This ought to be good. Oh. No. 3's what I want. So, sorry, races of creatures. I think we were noticing last time, like the Moblins look kind of more humanish or personish. It even looks like, you know, they're actually wearing clothes and a belt and shooting arrows, whereas some of the monsters, like the Octoroks and the Tektite, seem more creature-ish. So, personally, of the two options, when I look at the, I'm assuming you were asking about like the Vire, the hopping bat things. I don't see clothes. I don't really see them chasing Link. I just see them kind of hopping around, and when they take too much damage, just splitting into two bats. So that makes me think more monster than person. But that's... But I guess that's just kind of the impression I get. Okay, so let's see. Was this an old lady selling potion? Yes. Trying to think, what else do we have to buy? I think the only other purchase we need is at some point we're going to have to get some of the meat, because we'll need that later. But then all of our rupees can just be saved for buying potions whenever we need them. And looking at how much time we have left, it definitely looks like I was right last week about the last few dungeons taking considerably longer than the first 4. Oh. See, I was thinking that the Congregation on Evil Creatures reminded me of a Buffy the Vampire Slayer deal where they are attracted to the mouth of hell, which makes me wonder if Ganon has connections to the underworld. I'd say currently I don't think we really have enough information to be able to say anything about that. We know that Ganon came with a giant force of monsters, of some kind, whether natural or supernatural, we're not really told. We also, it's possible that those monsters coming makes it might have attracted more monsters, or just the general chaos and the fact that um, the soldiers of Hyrule are probably all in hiding with the royal family protecting them rather than out killing monsters. Let's see, but the Mouths of Hell seem like a poor choice of locations for hiding the Triforce. Yeah, I'd have to say, given the fact that the whole point of the hiding the Triforce is to keep them safe from Ganon, you probably would want to make sure that anything you put them near wasn't liable to just start working for Ganon. And also you would want to make sure that I don't know how much power a single or a single piece of Triforce has, but you also wouldn't necessarily want to just give that power to to an evil creature as well. So which makes me think these guardians are either like animalistic at worst, or some kind of guardian of the royal family uses at best. And I mean, it's possible. I mean, the argument could be made that, well, if they were guardians of for the royal family, then that seems like that's kind of cruel, sending Link to go off and kill them. Which might be a point against that theory, but on the other hand, that depends on what type of guardian they are. Are they like, when we were going against like Aquamentus and Gleeok and all those, are they actual creatures with lives of their own that we're just killing because they're in our way, or are they some kind of like construct that exists purely to defend the Triforce and test any would-be heroes? Not sure. Before we finish, no. We lost our shield. Well, there's a demonstration of why we don't want to get eaten by the like-likes when we have the magic shield, because we lose it. So, I guess we're back to needing to buy that again. Okay, I can just leave the one there. I'm exploring this way because I just want to check and make sure that there's not like a second item in this dungeon or anything. Joke's on you, I didn't have a shield anymore. Okay. Empty room, apparently. Oh, okay, we're dead. That definitely seems suspicious. Okay, let's see. You were talking about music before. Does Link ever get his own theme music in future games? I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if we ever get like a specific Link theme. When he appears in some other games like Super Smash Brothers, I think we get variation of the Legend of Zelda theme. And, oh man, taking lots of damage. It'll be a little bit... What's given me a little bit of pause with that question is that different games had different composers and used different music, and they would do remixes of previous music, and there's actually quite a bit of music in this series, and I just don't remember if there was ever a specific Link theme or not, but that's definitely one thing we can try to keep an ear out for as we play through some of the future games. So I don't know, should I try going through that one room again to see if there's another item? Or should I just go for the boss and leave the dungeon? Or should I just die because a Wizrobe hit me? Hint, the correct answer was C. Well, at this point I'm thinking we should probably make just trying to beat this dungeon our goal for tonight's session. Try it, 'cause that seemed very heavily guarded with a shutter door and everything. Like if that's just a dead-end room, that seems very suspicious. Okay. Yeah, I usually wait till it starts beeping, but it doesn't start beeping until the last heart, and sometimes those rapid fire hits get me that way. So... okay. If it's just likes, I shouldn't have to worry, especially since I don't think the likes even did damage to me. I think all they did was just eat the shield, so... Alright, let's see if there was anything here worth getting, or if I just wasted my time. There are secrets where fairies don't live. Okay, well, that's I guess not a complete waste of time. That does help us find level 7. I'm gonna stab you anyway. Okay, good. We'll leave the one there. So that not if, but when we die and have to do that room again, there's just the one that we can easily die. Wow. I must have taken that much damage to those guys. So on here they look like stacks of pancakes, but in like the 3D Zeldas and animations and drawings of them, I always think the likes look kind of like I don't know if you ever had those toys that are just like a tube filled with some kind of slippery material, and then the tube can kind of turn inside out on itself, just make it kind of hard to hold in your hand. Oh. They actually look like they'd be kind of fun if they didn't eat away the shield. Okay. What is down here? Why does down here exist? Oh, good. So glad I came down there for bombs. Okay, we wanted... And Goma, which I believe the old man told us to aim for the eye. Wow, that was easier than I expected. So I think Goma actually normally has the eye like half closed, and then he'll open it up all the way, and you have to try to aim so that you hit it while it's open, because if it's closed, then he's got super strong eyelids or something. We just happened to get kind of lucky and hit him in the eye first shot. Also, apparently the arrow is an instant kill. I'm guessing if we were using the sword, it would probably have done damage with his eye open, but not instantly killed him. So, okay, we managed to beat level 6. Alright, so I think I'm going to spend the rest of the time. First of all, we'll open up level 7. I don't want to... No. And then we'll spend the rest of the time trying to collect some rupees to regain our shield and buy some meat, because I don't know if it's in level 7 or not, but eventually we're going to probably need the meat. I just think you're so tough. I'd be able to block your sword beams if I had a bigger shield. This way. Alright, so, the old guy told us, what was it, secrets lie where fairies don't dwell, or something like that. So we have the fairy up here. You might have seen before we found another fairy on a lake like that. But if we come over here, there's a lake with no fairy, also with one enemy. And where have we seen screens that have just one enemy on them before? The answer is we've seen those on dungeon screens, and perhaps if we play some music, the lake dries up, and we have level 7. So I'm not going to get into level 7 just at the moment, because we have supplies we need to buy. But I did want to explain the old man's riddle before we... because I know if I wait till next week, I'm going to forget all about it. Forgot, can't block that. these always blue levers? There we go. Alright, we can buy some lunch. I should probably switch away from the ferry before, or from the flute before I end up warping myself who knows where. I guess one thing I did notice is we saw Gleeok again in level 6, but this time he was kind of a sub-boss or a mini-boss. And one thing I do think is that, or I do think that plays into the storytelling a little bit, because if you remember, Gleeok was the boss in level, I think 4? Or rather, a 2-headed Gleeok was, and now we had a 3-headed Gleeok that wasn't the boss, it was just a mini-boss. And so by showing us an enemy that we've had before, and having it be stronger in one sense, but at the same time, not even the boss of a dungeon, just the mini-boss, I think that's part of the game's way of kind of storytelling of how, you know, we're facing tougher monsters, we're getting into, you know, things are really starting to ramp up. You know, the enemies that we faced before that were just the hardest monsters we expected to see, now they're just, you know, the small fry. And we also see that with the way that, you know, now we're not really seeing red dark nuts, we're seeing blue dark nuts, and we're getting horrible rooms filled with likes and wizrobes and bubbles all put together. But I do think that you know, reusing old bosses like that does help kind of it helps us just kind of see the progression that we're getting in the game. There you. I must have left one on the screen at some point. And that's the downside of sometimes leaving just one enemy on a screen. In the dungeons it was nice because it let us skip past some rooms. Here I want to kill a bunch of easy enemies, you know, hopefully for money. So if I just leave one on a screen, next time I come around there's only one enemy to fight. So I still don't understand why the Tektites seem to be the most loaded enemies. Also, I'm not entirely sure why the entirely sure why the some of the enemies drop fairies when they die. I don't know if it's, you know, like for something like an Octorok, did it eat the fairy? And we just happened to rescue the fairy before it was too late? Or was it, you know, carrying the fairy in a jar or something? Or are the monsters fairies that have turned into monsters and then we like freed them or something? I don't know. These are questions that science cannot answer. Am I doing on time? Hopefully, 10 minutes or so we'll be able to get the money we need, and then we can end the stream by buying our shield that we stupidly lost by walking directly into a like. Do have to be careful when using the sword beams. Now, I mean, right now I have the boomerang, so you know, if I kill an enemy over rocks, I can still get whatever they drop. But especially early in the game, it's very easy to kill an enemy that's too far away for you to be able to actually pick up what it drops, which is yeah, it's just unfortunate whenever it happens. Nice. Guess I could probably start heading over that way, because we're only 4 rupees away if I can find the right vendor. Away. This was not the right way, was it? No. There it is, that's where it was. And there's just the rupees we need, good. So let's go in here. And we found some cheaper meat than that, but we will take the nice cheap shield. And so next time, get us back to level 7. Dude, that was not very polite. I'm trying to warp here if you don't mind. Oh, maybe it only happens once per screen. The blue spiders work like oysters, their bodies create gems. I guess that's possible. I guess on the one hand it seems a little disturbing that we'd be using, you know, just bits and pieces from monsters is our main currency, but I guess, you know, it's essentially pearls and so. I guess it would also explain how the moblins get their money if they go around killing Tektites as well. So, alright, so here we are at level 7, and I think now I want to do this, I'll create a save state here just in case our save fails. And the main reason I'm doing that is just because with these old cartridges, the battery backup on them, or the way they saved was actually a battery backup, and it is possible for that battery to fail over time. And this one still had our save on it from last time, but I'm just not sure if I trust it being this old. So I want to, since this system gives me the opportunity to do a save state, I'm going to use that just in case our battery fails. I forget, is there a way I could just like force I don't remember if there was a way I could just force a save screen or if I have to die, so I'll just end up dying. Which, man, takes forever with a blue ring. So. Okay, good. And I guess didn't really talk about the game over music at all. Is it just me or does it sound kind of fairy-ish? Maybe I'm just putting too much thought into it, but anyway, we'll save, and now we are ready to go for next time. So, thank you for thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and next time, with the way these levels are going, getting through level 8 might be a bit ambitious. I think we should probably just hope we can get through level 7 and then see where we go from there. But yeah, should be available same time next week, and look forward to see y'all then. Thank you, and bye now.